This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Radar, and I'm thrilled to be speaking today with Stephanie Beatriz about her new film, Encanto. How are you today, Stephanie?
I'm so good, Abe. How are you?
Good, good. I really enjoyed this film.
Hey.
What spoke to you most about it when you first heard about it?
I mean, what spoke to me was that Disney Animation was doing their 60th film and it was going to be set in Colombia and that Lin-Manuel Miranda was doing the music. So I immediately contacted all my reps, my agents and managers and begged them to get me an audition. I was like, trade in any favors that you had. Like, please just get me an audition for this. Please, please, please. And then I got a call back and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really like, it's like within reach, you know? And then I booked it, which is like, I still kind of can't believe that I was sitting here before this interview started thinking, okay, like this is real. Like you're really doing press for this movie and people have seen it and are gonna see it. It's very cool.
Oh, absolutely. And how do you think it compares to other Disney films? Does it remind you anything, or is it really just breaking the mold for something new?
That's such a good question. I do think Mirabel, in the grand tradition of Disney heroines, sort of is cut from the same cloth, right? She's really got a ton of goodness at heart. She cares so much about the people around her. She wants to do the right thing. And I think if you look back through Disney history, through the heroines of the films, they all are cut from that same cloth. But I think the thing that Mirabel kind of adds is, you know, she's not a princess. She's a regular, ordinary person. And yet, through her sort of perseverance and bravery going on this huge adventure in this film, she kind of realizes her own value. And I think that's really special and different and new.
I agree. What elements of her personality did you relate to most?
I relate most to her use of comedy in awkward situations. I relate most to her feeling like an outsider a lot of the time. And I definitely relate to her deep, deep love for the people around her and her family, her sisters, her parents, her grandmother, all of her extended family.
And what was most challenging for you to relate to?
I mean, most challenging to relate to, I don't know. Most challenging to do was the fact that I was very pregnant while I was recording some of those songs. Some of them, as you saw, are very fast, not a lot of room to breathe. Plus, add a, growing baby inside your belly, shoving on your lungs and asking you not to breathe like that. That was really challenging, but we did it. We made it happen.
Yeah, and so this is actually not your first time working with Lin-Manuel Miranda, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we worked together on In the Heights, and we've known each other since we were in our 20s in New York City.
Do you think that fans of In the Heights will enjoy this film also?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a fan of well-written, good music, you're going to enjoy this film. But I think particularly if you're a fan of Lin's and you know his structural style and you've watched his kind of growth from In the Heights to Hamilton to Moana, his work on Moana, and then now to this, I think you're going to be really interested to see how he's grown as a musician and composer and songwriter, but B, like how also he just, he's a really complex songwriter. I think those of us, myself included, that are fans of, for example, Hamilton, that have listened to that soundtrack over and over and over, there's always something new that you're finding audibly, like you're always finding something new inside the structure of the music. And I think that audiences will find that the same thing is true for Encanto.
I was with a friend who has a young child yesterday, and she was listening to the Moana soundtrack, and I was like, oh, this now sounds even more familiar, having seen other things more recently.
Right? Yeah. He definitely has a special touch.
You have so many fascinating and terrific voice co-stars in this film. Is there anyone you were very excited or maybe nervous to work with?
I was really thrilled to hear that John Leguizamo was a part of the film. I've been a fan of his since I was a teenager, when I first saw one of his one-man shows being broadcast on TV. And that was probably one of the first times that I realized that I too could be an actor. So he's been, he's an icon. He really is. He's an icon. And for those of us that didn't see a lot of ourselves in film and television growing up, he had these iconic roles in these like huge movies, Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, just to name like two out of a huge, long, intense career. not only is he an incredible actor, but he's also a really amazing and prolific writer and activist. And so, like, to me, he is the model for what I would like to be like in my career. And the fact that he's like in this film, and yesterday I got to do interviews with him, and he's such a nice human being, so funny and cool. It's like, it really, so many parts of this experience have been like dreams come true. And that has definitely been one of them. Meeting him and getting to work with him has been incredible.
That's really great to hear.
Yeah.
And how do you think your character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine would get along with Mirabel?
And, you know, weirdly, they have a lot in common, which is that they deeply, deeply care about their family. For Rosa, it's her chosen family at work. And for Mirabel, it's the Madrigal family, that she loves them more than she can express. It's like at the very core of her being is wanting to really be accepted by her incredible magical family, even though she's totally ordinary. Rosa's sort of the same. She has this like deep, deep love for all of the 9-9. Like, she would, you know, she'd do anything for them. I think that that's probably the core thing, right? Of both of those characters, they would do anything for the people that they love.
It's true. And have you seen the finished product?
I have.
Did anything surprise you about it?
I will say that the animation is so vibrant, so lush, so gorgeous. I've never seen anything like this in a Disney animation film, and I've seen them all. I've seen them all many times. I raised myself sometimes on, you know, VHS tapes that I would watch over and over and over. My mom and dad worked a lot, and one of the gifts that they gave us was a VCR and many, many Disney animation VHSs. And I've seen them all over and over and over. And this film, the animators have taken it to a different level. It feels unreal. It truly feels like you've been transported to Colombia.
Yeah. And from all those VHS tapes, do you have a favorite that still sticks with you?
That's a really difficult choice, but I will say some of my favorites are probably Aladdin, because of Robin Williams' iconic performance in Aladdin. I think The Little Mermaid is a stunning, stunning piece of work. Beauty and the Beast, Mulan. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on. And I really like the old ones too, like the older ones, because of the visual style. Like, I love Sleeping Beauty, I love Cinderella, all of that stuff. All of those steps that Disney animation has taken along the way to create this like canon of work that is so incredibly rich. Like, I can't believe I get to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Encanto opens exclusively in theaters on Wednesday, November 24th. Thank you so much for speaking with me today, Stephanie, and I can't wait for people to see the film.
Thanks, Dave.